Hello, this is Greg Allison, Green Greg's, coming to you on the 28th of August, 21. Time on deck, 100 hours Central Daylight Time. Ladies and gentlemen, right now this is blue skies, and things are actually starting to dry out, but it won't last for long. Hurricane Ida, which will be Tropical Storm Ida when it gets here, is on its way, and it's going to change all that. Well, I got some advice for our friends down in Louisiana, especially the mayor, Miss LaToya Cantrell, and the governor, Mr. John Bell Edwards, to not make the mistakes of the forebears, such as Mayor of New Orleans, Ray Nagin, and such. So, also I got some other advice to the people there, and things that people just ought to consider. Now, I'll bring you these and many other videos so you'll keep your eyes wide open and head on a swivel, because there's a proposition on my channel to help you survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive. And guys, right now we've got a lot of challenges, and right now Hurricane Ida is going to be one of them here in the southeast. Now, what I'm hoping is this. I'm hoping that it's not as severe, that it lightens up a little bit, but this thing is going to hit on the 16th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. I mean to the day, on the 29th of August. And is expected to be a Category 4 hurricane by landfall, where its Hurricane Katrina was a Category 3. It had been a Category 5 and it fell down. It downgraded. Maybe this hurricane will downgrade a couple notches too to Hurricane 2. That won't hurt, let me tell you. But in either case, this is something to be aware of and something to be concerned about. I'm out here on another slide road today hoping for less traffic, but I'm still getting traffic. So, okay, bear with me, guys. So, here's what we got to know. Oh, for one, guys, it's events like this that make you really know that you need to prepare, because you can have the grid down for a matter of days at a time, and a major outage like this if we have an event like this. So, you need long-term food storage, you need batteries and all these kind of things. So do consider, I got a special right now on prepgreg.com. You can get $300 off a 3-month supply of food that lasts 25 years, guys. And that's good for the grid down, which is what I'm really worried about, because we got solar storms coming at us too. We got a big sunspot facing us that just clicked out a M4.7 flare. We might get a CME here just any time. Maybe when the hurricane hits, we're getting a CME too. But the big one might be, we might get an X flare out of this one. This one might give us an X flare, and it's aimed right at us, and that's solar storm 2860, AR 2860. Now, all that said, let's get back to the, yeah, that's prepgrid.com for that food. Now, let's get back to the recommendations for the governor, John Bell Edwards, and in particular, Miss Mayor LaToya Cantrell of New Orleans. Like I said, Ray Nagin, I think, made a lot of mistakes. A lot of people got trapped in the Superdome last time, and that was that was ugly. That was a very bad situation for those people there, and the whole of New Orleans. Now, get this. They decided, the governor, John Bell Edwards, announced, and it was re-announced by Mayor LaToya Cantrell, that there's not enough time to have mandatory evacuations there, but they don't have enough time to put in that contraflow special traffic pattern where they shut down all the lanes of highway going one way and make them all just go one way out of town. You know, they shut down the inbound lanes and make everything an outbound lane. That contraflow, they claim they don't have time to set it up. Why is that? That don't make no sense. So what they're saying is, well, we'll just make mandatory evacuations for the areas outside the levee system, but inside the levee system it's not mandatory, but it's optional. So if you're inside the levee system and can get out, get out. Get out now. They say that you need to be where you're going to be by Saturday evening. It's Saturday evening. If you're not out, go, because the storm won't hit till Sunday. So you still got a little time if you're not caught up in major traffic jams. Now see, there may be the rub. You may be out there in a car and get caught up, because traffic starts breaking down, it can all turn into a mess. Why didn't they set that traffic flow up? I mean, they know this thing was coming. This sounds a lot like to me the whole deal going on in Afghanistan. Come on, guys, where's the planning? You guys, governors and mayors, you're paid a lot of money, and you got a lot of agencies to support you in your state, city, and federal that should give you the advice to know what you got to know. This is not a surprise, guys. So, again, here's what they could do. Well, let me back up a minute. This storm, it's possible that it won't be as bad on New Orleans inside the levee system as it was last time, because they spent a lot of time and a lot of money fixing it, supposedly, making it better, making it more robust. But I'm a safety engineer, and I got to ask some questions. I'm an avionics system safety engineer, but the practices of system safety, whether you know electronics or rockets or anything, are the same. You have to ask, do you have redundancy in your system? That if one thing fails, there's a backup. And that's particularly for like pumps and things like that. How much redundancy do you have? How much carrying capacity does that have? How much design margin do you have built into your levees? How much pressure can they take? Is there any weak points? We all know that water flows to the lowest point. We all know that water seeks the easiest route out. So and we all know that a chain is only as good as its weakest link. So you can build all kind of dikes and levees and stuff, but if you got one spot where it's bad, that's all it takes to get a breach, and then it comes. So how sure are you? How positive are you that your system is that good? I got to ask you, just how sure are you about that? What kind of assessments and backup and independent analysis have you had? If it's from the contractors that built it, then that's the fox guarding the hen house. You need to have independent assessment that says that that system is good. Have you had it? How confident are you of it? If you're really confident, okay, fine. Then maybe you can ignore the following device. Well, I really thought Mayor Ray Nagin should have done when I looked at all those people trapped in the Superdome, and I saw entire fleets of school buses that were destroyed and ruined by flooding. I thought, my Lord, why did not Ray Nagin tell everybody to get on the school buses and get out of town? Maybe it was a liability issue, but all the school buses were run and the people were in a pickle. Now those people could have been evacuated on those school buses. If you're going to have a situation, if you're not confident those school buses won't get flooded, if you're not confident that those parishes, those people inside the levees won't get flooded out, then for Pete's sake, I would say bend some rules, and anybody that can drive a school bus or a large vehicle, let them drive and get out of there and take a lot of people. Make a convoy and get as many people as you can out on those buses. You might save some buses, hey, some might wreck, but but you could save a whole lot of lives. But make sure you got, people, you got a lot of people that's driven buses over the year. I've driven a bus for Pete's sake, okay? Buses, trucks, find people that can drive them and get the people out. I mean, you got the bus drivers that drive the buses anyway, regularly. Why can't you get them to take people out? Give them a special hazard duty pay if you have to. But get the buses out, get the people out. That's what I say. And if you have to use the regular bus drivers, why not? Most of them should be available, and you should have backups for them. Get the people out, get the buses out. Save the buses, save the people. You get double bang for that. That's what you ought to do, and you ought to do it anyway, just because how sure are you of those levees? If those levees break, you're going to have egg on your face, big time. If those levees flood, if those areas inside the levees that don't have mandatory evacuation on are lost, you're in big, deep kimchi, Mr. Governor John Bell Edwards and Mayor Miss Latoya Cantrell. You are in deep kimchi. Mayor Ray Nagin had egg on his face, and you will join him in a list of the Hall of Fame of egg on the face. So, guys, you can fix this. You can fix it right now. You can call these people right now. You can set this up right now if you would do it. If you're somebody that's anywhere near one of the districts there in Louisiana that can contact any of these people, even the bus drivers, and ask them to contact their supervisors, maybe you can get this idea out and make it happen. Maybe you can make it happen. Make phone calls. Call the governor's office. Of course, I know it's a weekend. But somebody's got to be out there manning stations. Oh, Lord Almighty, they got a hurricane coming. They ought to be manning stations there somewhere in the governor's office and the mayor's office. They got things to pay attention to. So, when you're talking to emergency management people or whatever, get the word out. Man those buses. Get the people out. Get the buses out. Get the people out. Save buses, save people. That's what you need to do. I'm not trusting that levee system. I'll tell you, unless I've seen the independent assessments and know that they didn't miss anything. Because a lot of times I see systems, people that build stuff are very confident in what they build. They're always, because it's their baby. They don't look at how it could really fail because they're so happy with what they did. They think it's all right, and it takes a different mindset. They see this guy's thinking what we call success space. You gotta have somebody who thinks in failure space to be able to see the holes in their system. They can't see them themselves because their baby's the prettiest thing they've ever seen in their life. That's what this system is. It's their baby. And so they have a prejudice built in that says it's all going to work. Well, a good safety engineer will go in and say, I think it's going to fail, and I'm going to show you where. And he'll look around to see if he can find the spot. If he can't, well, okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, enough of that. That is what I think about it. Now, bear in mind, Hurricane Katrina cost $125 billion in property damage and cost 1,800 lives. 1,800 lives. Society collapsed there in New Orleans within 3 days. It was ugly. See, that's a case study for those of us that talk about how fast things go bad. And they had people coming from outside to give them some help. Not quite like, you know, some situations. It was hard to get in and out. But they did have outside people coming and giving help. If we have a natural disaster nationwide, like an EMP event or a solar coronal mass ejection, which could be but wider than national. Some people say, well, it's just going to be, you know, regional. Well, a Cantrell event could be worldwide, guys. Depends on how big the event is. Depends on how big a CME the sun kicks out. The sun could affect the entire planet, or a continent, or an area like Quebec in 1989. So we got to pay a lot of attention to this, guys. And let me tell you, solar flares and CMEs don't just affect the daylight side of the earth, as I heard another bigger prepper that got a lot more views than me on his talk about that. That's wrong. The 1989 Hydro-Quebec event took place about 2 in the morning. I think it was 2:44. It was night. I mean, guys, when you see the aurora at nighttime, why? Because all that stuff's coming in right over you. Why? Because it goes in through the magnetic field lines. The whole magnetosphere of Earth reacts to a solar coronal mass ejection. It can be planet-wide, or it could be on one side of the planet or the other, but it has nothing to do with whether it's day or night, okay? Also, the Earth rotates, and these things are coming at you. They don't go at the speed of light of the sun. They're coming at you. And the Earth could have rotated where you're on the dark side when it was shot up from the sun, when it gets to you. So don't at all bank on this notion that you're safe at nighttime from a CME. You're not. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Now, okay, back to the floods. One of the things is another hurricane called Nora coming up the west coast. Don't be ignoring Nora. So, they're calling it the Nora Monster. And they're saying it's going to bring a lot of rain up through the area between California and Arizona. And you'll see some even in northern New Mexico and on up into Colorado. So southeastern California, the desert, should get a lot of rain. Arizona should get a lot of rain again. You know, they had the monsoon season. And there should be, hang on. I thought I picked a low traffic area, and I did not. Oh, stepped on it, make a lot of racket, thank you. So, yeah, that could really, yeah, see, that's the problem I hate about all this traffic, distracts you. Nora, you expect a big moisture surge in Colorado. Now, flooding, you could get some flooding there. Flooding, as you know, we had those floods in Tennessee. They now say there was, I believe, 18 people dead, and there's still one missing out of those floods in Tennessee. Now, and they had 17 inches of rain. Rain prediction from Hurricane Ida is 10 to 20 inches through good parts of up into Mississippi, Louisiana, Mississippi, 10 to 20 inches. And that could be even up into Tennessee, maybe even here in North Alabama. I think normally they're expecting in a lot of these areas maybe 6 inches of rain. That's still a lot of rain. 6 inches of rain is crazy. 17 inches like they had in Tennessee was insane. So you could get a lot of rain. You'd have a lot of wind. There can be spin-off tornadoes in a lot of those areas. So you got to watch that, my friends. Spin-off tornadoes are no joke. Through New Orleans area, Mississippi, Louisiana, maybe even up into Tennessee and possibly even to here. So that storm is going to go up into Tennessee and turn this way, and we will be on the right side of it here. Hopefully it's rained out a lot before it gets here. That's my hope. So the rain is no joke. Storm surge along the coast, Gulf Coast, is expected to be about 15 feet. On Lake Pontchartrain, in the area of New Orleans, about 5 feet. That's the expectation of the storm surge, and then the rain's on top of that. Of course, once you've had the rain, it takes some time for all the rivers to reach their crest, because it all flows downhill from many other areas. So the rivers will crest more and more over time afterwards. And so the levee test is not over just as soon as the hurricane passes. As you know, it was a day or two after Hurricane Katrina when the levees broke in New Orleans. So that's something to bear in mind. Crops. Now we just had some wind damage up in Minnesota, I guess up in the northwest of where the corn part of the corn belt. This corn here is looking really nice now. It's going to be ready to be harvested really soon. I see some grain poking out of some of it. These big cornfields all around here. We're expecting a bumper crop here in the southeast. So, you know, we just hope we don't get a situation where that a lot of this gets knocked down by storms and winds as these stalks start to dry out. I bet that corn is already dry. We can just get on here and fill a few grains in here. Yeah, that stuff is hard as a rock. That stuff is dry. So, there you are, guys, corn. You ever seen inside of a cornfield? Should be showing y'all cotton fields up close, right? Because most of you haven't seen that. Hope I don't get run over here. Beautiful cedar tree. Like, the skies are nice today. A few little storms up that way off, up in Tennessee. That's probably way up in Tennessee, actually. I'm only about where I'm standing, probably about 6 miles that way to Tennessee. Anyway, guys, my county wells back in that area. So, be safe. Be safe. If you're in a low-lying area anywhere we're expecting in this rain, Mississippi, Louisiana, 20 inches of rain's a flood, guys. 17 inches of what it did in Tennessee. 10 inches is crazy. 6 inches is nuts. That'll flood my house. Not, you know, taking away flood, but it caused water to come in to my half of my house that's built on a slab. I don't want to see 6 inches of rain. I don't want to see 4. I don't even want to see 3. 2 would be a good rain. I don't need any right now. I need to dry out. All right, guys, and these crops need to dry out now so the farmers can get in here and harvest all this stuff. So that's what we're talking about, guys. We got a lot before us here. Potential for terrorism, CMEs, our magnetic fields dropping. You really need to prep, guys. And possible shutdowns. Our supply chains are unraveling. I need to do a video on that here today or tomorrow. We got a lot of challenges right now. It is the time to prep, guys. Check prepwithgreg.com. Go to your big box stores, get what you can there too. Just start getting ready. Get ready. That's all I can say. Anyway, thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching. And hope everybody has a nice, blessed, safe weekend. And next week too, when all this rain and stuff's coming. Rain and CMEs. And let's hope that AR 2860 don't throw a major X-Class CME our way. Or X-Class flare bearing a CME. Well, I better be more precise. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.